Live, and Zach is live from Titans camp. I am back in my home studio, so welcome in everybody as Titans training camp has just wrapped up for day 3, which was the third day or the first day in full pads, and Zach's first day out there at St. Thomas Sports Park. Zach, how's it going? You probably had the mask, the shades, and the hat, so I'm guessing zero sunscreen for you today.
Zero sunscreen for me. I mean, I looked like the masked man, and the hard part is you're trying to talk to people through your mask, and there's so much renovations going on here at St. Thomas Sports Park. There's buzz saws going too, so it is an atmosphere. I will tell you that. It was good to get back out there, though. I hadn't been to practice in quite some time. You know, different constraints, but it was good to see NFL football being played because of the question marks of the last 5 months or so.
Well, but you didn't have an NFL quarterback really out there because you had an AAF quarterback with Logan Woodside and a Hawaii quarterback with Cole McDonald. Ryan Tannehill, no show for today's practice. I guess the maintenance days have officially begun.
Yeah, they began first day of Pats.
Yes.
So no Ryan Tannehill, and we didn't see the best quarterback play today because of that. Cole McDonald had 2 interceptions. Yeah, not good. One in red zone and one in team. So that was a struggle from Cole McDonald. And Logan Woodside had some overthrows in red zone period. I know they're trying to get their feet under them, and they haven't practiced like this in quite some time, but it didn't look good. And you have A.J. Brown. I could understand, our conversation from this morning. This was my first day at practice, so you had 2 days of practice to feel. And A.J. Brown looks like the real deal, obviously. That wide receiving core, you're looking for somebody else, but they're not there. Khalif Raymond made some plays, but offensively, you got a chance to see a lot of reps from Logan Woodside. You got a chance to see a lot of reps from Cole McDonald, and it just wasn't good. The biggest example that I'll give, team practice, okay? Cole McDonald, A.J. Brown beats Adoree Jackson off the line of scrimmage, has a good couple of steps on him, fly route, deep. Cole McDonald underthrows him by 10 yards. A.J. Brown stops, comes back, and catches the football. So it goes to how good A.J. Brown is. This ball was 10 yards behind him.
Yeah, that's strange because I would think if Cole McDonald's going to miss somebody, it's going to be by overthrowing them with that arm that he has. Now, Buckethead says Cole McDonald threw 2 picks, E-I-E-I-O. So,
I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah, and I watched Cole McDonald some on Friday and Sunday have some issues with quarterback center exchanges. So look, there's going to –
No, hey, mind you, he's a rookie, and usually rookies don't get the opportunity this early in camp for the amount of reps. Look, we've been covering training camp for a long time. These guys don't get the amount of reps. The third-string QB doesn't, but this, as we know, is a very different situation for the Titans where they had such a good backup quarterback situation last season to such a questionable backup quarterback situation this year.
Yeah, and I see Tress says the Kaepernick talk is going to start, and then Dusto comes in here with Blake Bortles, and Tress asks Luke Falk 2.0. I think it's too early to call Cole McDonald Luke Falk 2.0, but Zach, who is live at Titans practice just wrapped up. We're going to try to do this after practice to get a report from whoever goes there to represents A to Z Sports. Luke Orsham will be there tomorrow for his first shot at Titans training camp practice. I saw some tweets afterwards saying Derrick Henry kind of had a light day, went and rode the bike about halfway through practice in the first day of pads. What do you have on Henry?
Yeah, well, so Henry didn't do much. They obviously did individual drills, and the man, I mean, he's a beast. So that continues. You could tell the leadership from Derrick Henry just from the start of practice to when he got on the bike. He missed a portion of it. Just, I think it's maintenance, right? I mean, this is the time where they got to be very precautious. They got to have all of their cylinders going when they play Monday night against Denver, unless the NFL moves that in the question of college football. But one thing that I feel like Derrick Henry's going to work on this season is his hands. He was catching passes after practice. Cole McDonald, the corner of the end zone, and we've seen practice, whether it's the trainers or Kern back of the end zone, it was actually Derrick Henry. I don't think I've ever seen Derrick Henry do that, trying to catch some passes, trying to get his hands where they need to be. And on the running back side, Darrington Evans, I saw a good screen pass that was caught by Evans. I feel like that's the one thing we kept on wanting from Dion Lewis, waiting. He had some good screens in his career as the Titans, but maybe that's where Evans can make some noise as the backup running back.
Yeah, Tress says the simple graphic looks clean. I thought the graphic looks pretty clean there too. As the Zach Live from Titans camp. So Derrick Henry, a lighter day. And you mentioned catching extra passes. I thought Derrick Henry looked pretty natural catching the football over the weekend for sure. And Jonnu Smith has been a guy who's gotten a lot of extra catches in over the years doing what Zach was talking about there. And Zach, today we talked about it this morning live from Mandu about I thought it was a huge hole in the roster with Corey Davis out on PUP, but Corey Davis was at practice for the first time. What did you see from Corey Davis today?
Nothing seemed wrong with him. He looked good. He went through all of the drills. He had some nice catches in the practices, in the warm-ups, and individual. Caught a good touchdown in the corner of the end zone when they were doing some red zone drills, not necessarily teamwork, but he looked fine. He was cutting. Arthur Smith was talking to him, coaching him up at times. I saw that. So that's one sigh of relief that I think Titans fans could have, because that was question mark. We talked a lot about that this morning in Mandu. You talk about, what is this Titans wide receiving core is going to be if Corey Davis can't go? I don't think that will be an issue. It looks that the trend coming off of PUP today and practice, from what I saw, 84 is going to be fine. And he's got to be primed to have a big year because, I don't want to get into the contract stuff, but whether he has a good year or a bad year, it's trending that they're going to go find another wide receiver. So he's really got to play well for his next contract regardless in 2020.
Well, and like I said this morning, I think he's really got to play well for the Titans offense to have a great season, because I think they need Corey Davis. And you're right. I'm sure the wide receivers look completely different if Corey Davis is there versus where he's been working out on that third field the last couple of days.
I will confirm what you said about the swag of A.J. Brown. This man's wearing 2 arm sleeves, right? I'm just going to say, only badasses wear double arm sleeves in practice. He's got the swagger. He's backing it up. He's taking the leadership role. And you know what? The easiest thing to come into year 2 in a training camp is coming off a 1,000-yard season, 8 touchdowns, and the productivity that he's had. So he exudes that. You could see and tell it on the field.
Yeah.
He's taken over QB1. I've never, ever.
Wide receiver one.
Wide receiver.
Yeah.
QB1 was having a maintenance day. But I never really saw that from Corey Davis, even in the years. Last year he had a really good training camp. But I don't know, swag factor at a 10, or really at 11, let's say.
Yeah, so the overall theme is the Titans need Ryan Tannehill to stay healthy, and that includes not getting COVID-19.
That is all of the above. He has to stay healthy. He is their only hope, and he's what stirs the drink. This two-tone drink is stirred by number 17. It's not going to be Logan Woodside, which my opinion, I think they're asking a lot from Logan Woodside. I'm not saying that he is not capable, but in a year coming off of an AFC Championship appearance, after what the backup quarterback did for you to save your season last year, to come and ride and die with a guy with 0 NFL experience and then draft a quarterback, and what I saw today from Cole McDonald with 2 picks and a big-time underthrow, it's minute because it's beginning of training camp, but it's going to be big at any course in time that you have to saddle up with number 5 or number 2. I'd be scared if I was a Titans fan looking at this QB situation. And I honestly, look, I would have loved to have seen Ryan Tannehill out at practice. I didn't want to see the backup quarterbacks, but I'm glad that we all got an opportunity. Peter King from NBC Sports was there. He was watching practice and kind of getting a look at the Tennessee Titans. Eyes are going to be on the Titans this year early. They've got to win over, whether it's the national media or the national fan base, to say, wow, 2019, that run they had from Houston to get into the playoffs to New England to Baltimore and even to Kansas City, at least the first half, that wasn't a fluke. And Vrabel and John Robinson are building something special and something sustainable here in Nashville. that backup quarterback does not look sustainable just
No.
from the eyes that I saw.
You're right. And comments are rolling in asking about Cole McDonald and Logan Woodside. Logan Woodside's a great story, as Fowler brings up, but very scary for your backup quarterback situation. And then Cole McDonald is a project. That's what he was. He's a 7th-round draft pick. He's a developmental project, and the Titans have admitted that. That's what they talked about, that he's a project of a quarterback. I will say his throwing motion looks better than what it did at Hawaii, but he's been very inaccurate. And do you remember off the top of your head who got the 2 interceptions today from McDonald?
Yeah, number 38. I didn't have a roster sheet going through. He had both of them, and it was one of those. It was one of those situations where they weren't terrible picks, but they shouldn't have been thrown. And maybe it's the speed of the game, right? We always talk about that with rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That speed of the game is notched up, and even with Christian Fulton, it's going to be notched up from the wide receiver and the way they move and of how he's going to cover them. I don't want to talk too bad about what Logan Woodside did. I think he made some good throws, some accurate passes, but one that stands out to me that I felt like was unacceptable. Corey Davis was in the back of the end zone. He overthrew him. I mean, it hit the field goal post. And I don't think that was meant to happen. I think that you could have at least gave Davis a chance.
Yeah.
He kind of did one of those like slight jumps and realized it was going to be too high.
I can't get it.
Yeah. And again, you saw Ryan Tannehill on Friday and Sunday. I feel like, and I don't know because I wasn't there at all the practices, but I feel like it was a different vibe than what we felt today because you just had backup quarterbacks. And maybe we're going to get a lot more of these days, Austin, because they have to figure out, I mean, these backups have got to be ready. They don't get the luxury of a preseason game. There's zero, nada. You're not going to get any practice time with live action. You're either going to be thrown in at some week, God forbid something happens to Tannehill, and Logan Woodside is going to have to just learn on the fly. And I don't know. I question that in a year coming off of the success they had a year ago.
Yeah, Kenneth Durden, who apparently is wearing his 7th Titans jersey number with number 38 this year. Kenneth Durden is who got the 2 interceptions from Cole.
Had a hell of a practice today.
Well, that's good. That's good for him, and because I think the cornerbacks are a pretty deep group with Kareem Orr looking pretty solid over the first couple of days, as well as Malcolm Butler, Dory Jackson, and the rookie Christian Fulton as well. So, all right, Zach, everybody's saying your sky behind you looks awesome.
Hey, I wanted – there goes a Mack truck right there. That may have been Isaiah Wilson right there, the big Mack truck.
Yeah.
But no, hey, I wanted to get the best possible picture for this A to Z audience. This is how much we value you guys.
It looks fantastic. Well, I think this was a success. Live from Titans camp with me in studio and Zach out there reporting, I think went pretty well. So thanks, Zach. I know Mike Vrabel and Arthur Smith and Shane Bowen are going to Zoom with the media here coming up soon. So thanks for the report, Zach, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Adios.
See you.